Imagine feeling totally invisible while growing up in a house full of people. You never cause trouble, you get good grades, and you sit at the dinner table, but nobody ever asks you how you're feeling. When you're feeling depressed, excited, or breaking inside, no one can tell. To avoid being a burden, you learn to vanish. Even as an adult, years later, you continue to feel empty, ashamed of your existence, and afraid of being noticed. You were most likely the neglected child if any of this sounds eerily familiar. We'll go over exactly what happened to you, why it still has control over your life, and the full step-by-step process for healing in this 1-hour deep dive. For every neglected child who was raised too quietly, too well, or too unseen, this video is dedicated. Drop a heart now if that describes you. At last, people are taking notice of you. Now let's get started. Dr. Jonice Webb, a psychologist, coined the term childhood emotional neglect, CEN, in her book Running on Empty. It's not a lot of shouting or hitting. It is the unspoken inability of your parents to identify, label, or react to your feelings. Your parents took care of your food, clothing, and education, but they never inquired about your feelings. They never acknowledged your joy, your rage, or your sadness. Emotional neglect is one of the most prevalent and imperceptible types of childhood trauma, affecting 18 to 40% of people globally, according to studies. The child who is ignored, also referred to as the lost child or invisible child, learns that their emotions are unimportant. I'm not important. You grow up to be the quiet, easygoing child who never asks for anything, and you maintain that trait as an adult. You most likely displayed these 8 symptoms when you were younger. 1. At a very young age, you were remarkably quiet and self-sufficient. 2. No one celebrated when you received all A's. 3. Rather than your parents consoling you, you consoled them. 4. You kept your feelings of sadness and bullying to yourself. 5. You thought you were the easy kid who didn't require care. 6. Family discussions were never about feelings, only trivial topics. 7. You were by yourself in your room for hours. 8. You secretly believed that you didn't truly fit in with your own family. The hardest part will come next. The 18 signs you still carry today. Sign 1. In any group, you feel invisible. Sign 2. You find it very difficult to ask for assistance. Sign 3. When you say no or take a break, you feel bad. Sign 4. At 3 in the morning, you go back and review conversations to see if you said too much. Sign 5. Everything seems fine and you don't really know how you feel. Sign 6. You draw partners who are emotionally unavailable. Sign 7. You fear being discovered and feel like a fraud. Sign 8. You are so self-sufficient that you are exhausted. Sign 9. You feel hollow and empty and no amount of success can make you feel better. Sign 10. Your friends say you're aloof or difficult to connect with. Sign 11. You go into too much detail. Sign 12. You have an inexplicable, deep-seated resentment toward your parents. Sign 13. Work, food, scrolling, or perfectionism make you numb. Sign 14. You have trouble identifying your own needs and desires. Sign 15. You sense that there is a serious problem with you. Sign 16. You find it difficult to acknowledge and appreciate your own accomplishments. Sign 17. You continue to be in unhealthy relationships because it seems normal to be ignored. Sign 18. You secretly think that no one will notice if I disappear. Your parents weren't bad people. Typically, they belong to one of these categories. The overburdened parent, too many children, stress at work, trauma they've experienced. The self-centered, narcissistic parent, the parent who lacks emotional maturity and has never learned to feel the perfect on the outside family. They were able to give you what they could, but they were unable to give what they never got. In fact, neuroscience reveals that when emotions are not acknowledged, the emotional part of your brain, amygdala, prefrontal cortex, will not fully develop. You will literally have an emotional skill gap in your childhood. That's why you feel empty. It's not because you're defective, but because your emotional side never got to develop. Step 1, accept it happened. Repeat, I was emotionally neglected. It was not my fault. Step 2, fill out Dr. Webb's survey, link in description. Step 3, learn to identify your emotions, use an emotion wheel daily. Step 4, practice self-validation. Repeat, my feelings are valid, I matter. Step 5, reparent your inner child. Talk to your inner child nightly. Step 6, establish small boundaries and seek support weekly. Step 7, nurture your chosen family. Step 8, process your grief, cry for the neglected child. Step 9, cultivate self-compassion, Christine Neff's exercises. Step 10, break the cycle of self-blame and self-anger. Step 11, practice feeling seen. Share one genuine emotion with a trusted person. Step 12, praise yourself for your progress. You are healing. If this video finally made you feel seen, drop a heart and comment the number of the sign that hit you hardest. Subscribe and turn on notifications. We upload deep dives every week. You were ignored as a child, but you will never be invisible here. You matter, your feelings matter, and your healing starts now. I'll see you in the next deep dive. Take care.